Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are going through the house and decluttering and organizing several areas that have been giving us a little bit of a struggle. We first are actually going to start in this cabinet. It's somewhat of like a Monica's style cabinet. And then I have an actual Monica's closet back there that we're going to be working on. That one is a big mess. And then we're actually gonna be heading upstairs and working up there a little bit, decluttering and organizing some things. It's going to feel so good once we're done. But I don't have a whole ton of time because the boys are actually getting out of school a little bit early today. And you guys know how it goes. Like when the kids get home, things just get a little bit more chaotic. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, this is our craft cabinet, and I am so grateful for this space because especially our youngest Noah loves playing in here. He is constantly pulling things out, and I love that he has like that creative streak. It makes me super excited because I was definitely the kid that had a lot of creativity when it came to things like that. And I actually had organized this last year sometime, and it held up really well until the boys came home from school at the end of last year. And then I feel like everything just kind of went into this cabinet and the chaos really began in here. And then I have not touched it all summer long. So it was definitely in dire need of a little reorganization and decluttering. So to start out in here, I am just starting by pulling everything out, and then I'll go through and dust it off, make sure that it's all nice and clean, and then we will actually start dealing with the chaos. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to be doing is actually just going through everything and seeing if anything is either no longer being used, maybe trash, like we literally just have trash pieces of paper in here. So I'm gonna go through that, and then once I get everything decluttered that way, then I'll start organizing things and actually putting them back in the cabinet. I don't think this will take too long, but it's just one of those things, like if you're not ready to do it, it's gonna be a tedious process. All of the bins that I'm organizing with are ones that I previously had. I got them last year, as I had mentioned, but they are all from Walmart and they are from the Home Edit line. So I will have all of them linked down below for you guys if you want to organize. I have loved them and they've held up really nicely. But in just a second, I will take a minute and kind of go through everything in depth and show you exactly how I chose to organize this space. And hopefully that might give you some inspiration or some ideas on how to organize your own crafts in your own home. Also, I did want to share once again about the giveaway that I have going on all month long. I'm giving away $200 cash to one of my amazing subscribers because we are celebrating 6 years here on YouTube. It's mind-blowing that it's been that long, but I am so grateful for this amazing community and I'm so thankful that you are a part of it. So all the information will be down in the description box below, but all you have to do is make sure you are subscribed to the channel and then go ahead and leave a comment on all of the videos that I'm sharing during this month, and you will be entered to win. So good luck. All right, it's all nice and organized now. It looks so much better. I got rid of a lot of like random papers that had been shoved in here. I actually feel like it kind of worked for a really long time until the end of the school year last year, and then it was like all the random bits that they would bring home kind of got shoved in here, and then it just got chaotic. So basically in these bins on the bottom, we have Play-Doh and then perler beads. I don't know if you guys are familiar with those, but our boys love doing them, and like you kind of melt them with an iron. It's super fun. Then over here we have kinetic sand, which I would 1,000 times recommend over Play-Doh because Play-Doh gets like rubbed into your carpet and everything, and the kinetic sand is really not much of an issue. Like it just vacuums or sweeps right up. Then right here we have like crayons and markers and glue and all that kind of stuff. In this drawer on the bottom we have paint, and like all the paint supplies. And then up top we have like little activity books and papers and things like that. Up here is kind of like our randomness drawer. So we have some index cards, which we kind of practice different spelling things or whatever the boys might be working on at school. I also have my hot glue gun in there. And then this is a little bit of overflow from the kinetic sand. And then also we have like scissors on the side. So that's kind of the gist of this, but I love having a cabinet dedicated to like crafts and stuff, and that way it's just not kind of sprawling throughout the entire house. But now that we have this done, let's go ahead and head over to the football closet. That's what we call it. We try not to open it as much as possible because the smell is not pleasant, but we need a space for all the boys' sports stuff. So let's go tackle that. This is a mess. Welcome to our Monica's closet. I have honestly had worse closets than this, but this closet is accessed so regularly that it is just not really working, that it's so chaotic in here. So this is commonly referred to in our family as the football closet or the sports closet, because since this is like our front door closet and we live in Arizona, so we don't have a lot of jackets, this just made sense to have all of the sports items kind of like in a centralized location. However, this closet used to be home to a lot of other things, and because of the smell, and I'm not going to get all into it, we ended up just kind of giving it all to the sports theme, and everything else kind of moved away from this closet. But anyway, we are going to just start out by pulling everything out of the closet. I'm kind of starting in sections on this one because I don't want to be like so overwhelming, and I don't think I need to in this case. So I'm starting with those top bins, kind of organizing things, just kind of pulling things out, decluttering as needed, organizing whatever I can, and then I'll kind of continue moving down throughout the closet. All right, you guys, if you do not have an over-the-door organizer, I can't say that, over-the-door organizer, you have to pick one up. You can get them from all over the place. Like you can order them on Amazon, you can find them at Walmart, you can get them at some dollar stores. Like they are all over the place, and they are incredibly useful for everything. Like you can organize shoes, you can organize outfits if your kids are still pretty young, you can organize water bottles, snacks. Honestly, the possibilities are pretty endless with this, but you can do so much with these, and they take up like very, very little space. Of course, I took this time to deep clean the closet area. I typically don't tackle this closet more than once a year, so I don't get a whole lot of opportunities to easily clean in here. So while everything was pretty much taken out, I went ahead and just took out the last little bits, picked up all the trash, vacuumed it all up, and then instead of doing just a mop in here, I actually got down on my hands and knees, sprayed everything down, and scrubbed it all, and got it looking and feeling so nice and clean. Now, once I got everything taken out and deep cleaned, I started slowly kind of returning things back into the closet. And I also took that extra storage bin that goes on the very top shelf, and I decided to keep all of our extra out of season sport items in there. Typically, we had been keeping those just in the bottom drawer, but really you should never use prime real estate that's like really easily accessible for things that you rarely access. Like, for example, out of season sports equipment that we definitely don't want to get rid of, and we want it to be, easy enough to access when we need, but we really don't need that in like the prime real estate areas. So this just worked out super nice that I ended up having an extra basket up there. All right, we got this closet all nice and organized. I decluttered some things, so let me show you like what I took out of the closet, and then we'll show you all of this. All right, so on the stairs, I kind of have things organized in two different sections. So things on top, we're actually going to be donating. This is like our declutter. Like, we have a ton of sanitizer, and I know that the boys' school needs some, so I'll donate that to them. We have some old face masks, some random flag football belt. Luke and I actually use like the daily contacts, so we no longer use this. And for some reason that was in there, so we're gonna donate that, just all that kind of randomness. And then this row is actually things that we're keeping but does not belong in that closet. Like, this is Luke's old face mask. Then we have like a little sticker book, which, by the way, have you guys seen these? These are so cool. It comes with like sticker sections. It's like sticker by number. Oh yeah, that's literally what it's called. Some Mabel's labels. These are amazing. A glass phone case cover. We were looking for these and literally just ordered one the other day because I could not find it anywhere. And then just a little beanie, and then these are some of Emma's little treats that I need to actually put in like a little container and not just in the box. And then over here, the random sports socks. Some of these don't fit the boys, some have holes. So I'm gonna wash everything and then have the boys go through whatever fits, whatever doesn't. We can kind of go from there. All right, and then for the actual closet itself, here I have some containers. So this one has like pretty much Kyle's stuff, like our security system, extra things, some light bulbs. These top bins are actually for the animals. So we have things for grooming, and then this one has like walks and things like that, like for going on walks. And then this one is actually going to start having like extra sports equipment that is not in season or things we're not using. One of you actually recommended this to us. So we've been using this here and there and here to kind of help with the smell, but I do feel like we need a little something extra. And then back here are just some trampoline park socks, so we don't have to buy those every time we go. Then off to the right, this is just where I stuffed Luke's duffel bag for all of his tackle football gear. He has his helmet. There's a football inside of that. Then in the top bin, I'm going to have socks again, like sports socks. And then I think down here, we'll put maybe either Noah or Liam's. This is typically like the football, like the current football bin. So right now it has Luke's pads and his practice jersey. And in here, we just kind of have various things like some football pumps, flag football belts. These are like some of those reusable snow cone cups. So you can get a discount or something. This is just bug spray and sun lotion. Then we have some random bits, football gloves. This is a hand warmer for in the winter, a water bottle, Luke's cleats. And then once I see which cleats are fitting Liam and Noah, we'll put those in there as well. All right, now this is kind of random, but I actually wanted to show you this because my sister recommended it to me when I told her the issue of the smell in here, and I picked it up from Walmart. It's just a Citrus Magic, I believe is the brand, and it comes in a bunch of different scents, but this is like the first thing that I've put into this closet that has actually made a difference. I won't say that it takes all the smell away, but it definitely makes it smell a whole lot better. So if you have an area of your home that's like very smelly that you really need something, pretty tough to handle it, this is like a quick, easy fix. As you saw, I just tucked it kind of in that corner next to the door opening, out of sight, out of mind, but the smell does not kick you in the face when you open it, which is such a win. All right, we are in Luke's bedroom, and this has been the one that probably affects me the least, honestly. However, it is the one that I've been dreading for so long, just because I've never organized his closet. It has been a hot mess in here. He really doesn't even like access it that much other than for like a few select things in here, but it is like a pretty big space and I don't even know if you can see. The doors are actually like a little bit wonky because we need to add like a little bottom piece to it. And then really it just has not ever gotten organized. So it's like we moved in, everything just kind of went in there and then we let it be. And it really, really needs some attention. So we are going to just pull everything out, declutter anything that I know he's not going to want to use anymore, or I know he never uses. And then I'll put things back in a nice and organized manner and it'll be amazing. This is the before. Thankfully, it is not going to be here for much longer, but as you can see, the floor was completely covered with just about everything that it could be. It was very disorganized, and we were just holding on to things that we don't necessarily need or use. And I'm positive that this has happened a lot where Luke was looking for something and he couldn't find it, which is totally understandable because how can you find what you're needing in a bunch of chaos? So I'm starting out the same way I do with every decluttering project, and I'm just pulling everything out of the space one by one. And that way I have like a big pile outside of the space. And actually the reason that I like to do it this way is because one, you make sure that you're not missing anything, like you're not overlooking something in the space because you're literally emptying it out. And also it just kind of keeps things real for you because you see literally an entire huge pile of things, and it just makes you realize, yeah, you've got to go through this. You've got to declutter some things. And then once you're done, it's extremely rewarding because you know that that pile was huge and now you've dwindled it down to just the things that you want and need. Here we are with that blank slate of a closet. It is so incredible to see how much you have when you pull it all out. This is what I was talking about. One of the reasons that I just like to pull everything out all at once. It kind of just makes it sink in a little bit more when you can see everything all together. It makes me stay a little bit more real about what we're keeping and what we're decluttering. All right, I told you there was a lot packed in there. And it honestly didn't even seem like jam-packed in there. It was just, I don't know. It's not organized at all. So let's do this. All right, I'm not entirely sure how exactly I want to start with this. So I'm just going to start pulling things out. I do have a laundry basket. So this is just going to be for anything that I think we should donate or get rid of. But he will need to double check everything in here just because I don't want to get rid of anything that is special to him or that he actually does use that I don't, notice him using. Also, did you guys see how many footballs he has in there? There's 4, I think, but they're all popped. I don't know what it is. He's gone through so many footballs since living here, but I guess we gotta start. Funny story about this picture or painting. We actually got this at Disney World when we were living in Georgia. I was 38 weeks pregnant with Liam. I know it's the most silly time to go to Disney World, but there was no convincing a pregnant lady of basic logic like that. Okay, this is let me see, I have to think how to do it. To hold ties, take a wire hanger and you bend it in the middle. They'll either have to be tied like this, or you can just, if they're not tied, you can drape them over. But this way you can actually hang up all your ties on a regular hanger without having to buy one of those specialty tie hangers, which is really nice if you have a lot, but Luke, he only uses his ties like on Sundays. So a lot of these are older, like they're clip-ons. So like Liam doesn't know how to tie his ties yet, and neither does Noah. So they will just use clip-ons, or these are actually like my favorite, the zipper ties, where you just literally pull it. Anyway, but like these are clip-ons or the zippers. Luke uses regular ties now since he knows how to tie them himself. So I'll just pass those along. Oh my gosh, all of these are like wonky. Probably because they've been stored like this, so. Sorry, Luke. You're gonna have to spend a few extra minutes this week retying. If you just take a regular hanger, you can hang your belts like that. There's 2 little hanger hacks. Okay, and then Luke has the least of these things usually, because typically we'll get his clothes new or used, but from like a thrift store or something. Like I'm not handing them down to him because he's our oldest. But I got these big bins. They're really, really sturdy from IKEA. And I have one for each of the boys. So Liam and Noah's, I think they're both tucked under their bed, but Luke's I just have in his closet because he has extra room. And typically, like if we have extra clothes that they don't fit in yet, I will stick it in this bin. And then before going shopping for any clothes, I'll check in here and see if there's anything that they're like about to get into. If Luke grows out of something, for example, I'll put it in Liam's bin because it's like going to be his next. And then of course we have a lot of hand-me-down clothes in the garage kind of sorted out, but this is more for things that are like really close to being their size, but not quite. I love these little S hooks for closets, and we actually have them hanging on a towel bar in our bathroom for swimsuits and things like that, just because the towel bar isn't as useful for us. But I've seen people actually be able to hang jeans through these loops, or of course, like you're seeing here, you can hang your hats. There are just a ton of possibilities. You can pick them up on Amazon. I'm sure you can probably find them at Walmart. They don't take up a lot of space. They're renter friendly. They're just awesome. Now moving right along, I actually decided to go through Luke's old football bin, and I decluttered anything that he either wasn't using anymore or didn't fit. And then I also packed away his old jerseys because he just doesn't need those taking up his prime real estate once again. And then I also took a few minutes to go through his PJ bin, and I ended up moving the ones we're keeping and decided to store his winter football items in this lower bin in his little cube organizer in his closet, just because I feel like that's going to be the best spot for them and they won't have to be getting mixed in with all the things that he's using every single week. All right, the closet is so much better now, and I pulled a lot of things. Like I feel like I probably pulled at least half, maybe 2/3 out of his closet. Okay, so we have like some old PJs that don't really fit Luke anymore, so I'm gonna pass those on to Liam. These are actually nice notebooks from previous years that just are mostly not used. So I'm gonna save those. Like this is Noah's hat. Maybe I'll put this in Noah's room. I don't know, just like random bits that like just don't belong in a closet, but I think we are going to keep these things. Those are shelves from Luke's old room, so I'm gonna wipe those down and get rid of those. Some boots we never use here, so I'm gonna donate those. Just some random bits in here that we're going to probably get rid of, but I'll go through it with Luke. So these are some other PJs, but just ones that we don't want to keep. Some football gear that I feel like he never wears. This is actually a weighted blanket. I sometimes think they used to like it, but now I feel like they haven't used them in a long time, so I'm probably gonna get rid of that. This is so cute, but this was Luke's old duffel bag, but it just does not fit his clothes anymore. Hopefully we can find someone named Luke and give this to him. A bunch of old footballs that I think are just popped, so I don't think that we can repair these. Like I think they don't keep air anymore, so we'll kind of look at that. If we can fix them, that'd be great. Some old football pants and just like more random little bits in here. So again, I'll go through this with Luke and see if there's anything that he does want to keep, but I think this will all be stuff that we're not going to keep. Finally, I just took a few minutes to clear out all the things that either belonged somewhere else or things that we were going to be decluttering. And then Kyle took a few moments to quickly fix the sliding door guide. It's so funny how long it takes to get around to those little things around the house. Like this door slider has been struggling for so long, and we've actually had the stuff to fix it for a while, but we just never think about it unless if we're busy with something else. So it's one of those things that just kind of gets pushed off to the side, but we got it fixed today and it feels so good. Remember that beginning, remember that before of this closet. You could barely open the doors, everything was covered all over the floor, and I took everything out, decluttered what things weren't being used or what were no longer needed. I reorganized the things that we did decide to keep, and also I did want to note I did not buy anything for this. I literally just used all of the things we had, and the biggest difference was actually going through and decluttering things. And then it's really not that hard to organize a small amount of things or organize the things that you actually use and the things that you actually need when you don't have all of the clutter hanging around. So if you have a space that is feeling overwhelming and not working for you, I would urge you to go into that space and declutter whatever you're not using anymore and let your space breathe and let yourself feel the relief of not having to deal with all that extra chaotic clutter. I hope you enjoyed today's video and got lots of motivation and inspiration, and stay tuned for Monday's video because we are going to be trying lots and lots of new cleaning products and some brand new cleaning tools that I've never tried out before, along with a few cleaning hacks, of course. So you guys do not want to miss out on that. I'm so excited to share my thoughts and feelings on all of the new things. I hope you guys have the most amazing day. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.